This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So, uh, like yesterday, we have gone through the understanding of how the IT and how the IT companies will work in a project level and on the high level, and what is the product that we are going to use, and which in the form of let's say for the client requirement achievement, right? Now we have gone through the requirement or uh, like we have taken one concept, hospital management. Now as a BA, as a business analyst, okay, so I have to be a responsible to gather the information in the hospital, what is running, what is happening in the hospital. Okay, based on that, I'm going to provide some kind of documentation which can be prepared as a uh, like let's say functional design document, and followed by, on top of it, we will be preparing technical design document. On top of it, we will be tasking that design. On top of it, we will work on the actual development. So there are a step-by-step process would be there in the development life cycle or system development life cycle, right? Now, let me take you to a tour of what's going to happen in the hospital. I would like to have something called some more extra space, right? So, uh, basically, I feel little bit sick. I'm getting little bit headache. Okay, so this is the hospital entrance, and there is a security guard which is verifying whether you have the appointment or not, or whether you have the proper document, or he is verifying are you coming for a purpose of anything in the hospital, or you are coming for a normal without any purpose. Okay, first stage. Okay, think that whether we can accommodate that in the system or not, that's a different story. Just see what's happening. There is a security guard, first stage. Now once I enter into the hospital, I'm seeing there is a receptionist, or there is a uh, at the receptionist, they are doing something kind of registration. Okay, first registration. Okay, what that registration will do, so whenever I provide the details, okay, so that details will be entered into the system which is already running in their environment, and they are going to generate one ID. Okay, or they are registration means is nothing but they are entering into the logbook. Right now we think that there is no system at all in the hospital, and we are seeing how they are managing. So they are entering our details in a book, and whatever the serial number we are getting, so that they are giving it to us. Boss, this is your serial number, and keep it with you, and based on this we are going to do the transactions. Okay, first stage. Let me put, let's say, registration. Okay, this is the first stage. Now from here, once the registration happening, and they are asking for appointment, which doctor you want to get the appointment. Okay, are you feeling a heart issue, so we are going to accommodate a cardiologist. Are you facing any kind of stomach pain, we are going with a gastroenterologist or something like that. So nowadays we have a little bit knowledge on the hospital or medical things. What kind of knowledge? If you face a knee or bone or any kind of knee pain or any kind of leg pain, something related to bone, so we'll go with orthopedologist, something like that. If you are facing any kind of skin allergy or skin issue or hair fall, you will go to skin specialist. If you're facing any kind of heart or stomach, the respective doctor we are going, right? We have that kind of knowledge recent. So what we will do, we will simply call we would like to book let's say something like head issue specialist. So that the guy, the receptionist guy will look for the specific doctor and they will give you the appointment. Okay. So the doctor will be allotted to you. Next, what you'll do, you'll go and get into the doctor room, and he will check your situation and he will do some kind of whatever the things that he has to do. Let's say where the pain is there and when the pain is going to come. It is a frequent thing or is it rarely comes, and what kind of pain you will feel. Do you feel any kind of vomiting, something like that? It's just a general thing I'm just explaining. Now, based on your comment or based on the symptoms, doctor is going to specify whether you have to go for tests or he will simply go with some kind of let's say prescriptions. Okay. So once you go through the prescription, what you will do, you will take the prescription from the pharmacy. Okay. And you will go out from the hospital. This is your starting phase and this is your end space, ending the hospital management life cycle of the patient. Okay, this is the first thing that you are seeing. When it comes to, okay, you are facing some severe head pain and that is happening frequently, doctor would suggest go for tests. Okay, you have to go to lab or you have to give samples whatever the required is there, and again you have to come to doctor consultancy. Based on the reports, doctor will identify the issue, that we call it as a uh, research or something. They'll call it as a different thing, hospital terminology. So they will identify what is the disease, what is the issue. Then accordingly, that guy will prefer you go for admit into the hospital or take a precautions or take the medicine and go out. If it is a severe thing, you need a surgery or you need something called something manual activity done. So that is a different direction. Here, admit into hospital and a room allotment. And so you see here, this is the operation theater where doctor has to perform certain his activity, something like operation or something like a physiotherapy, whatever it is, I don't know. uh, Depends on the patient situation, he will do his own activities. Okay. And eventually you have to take some rest in the hospital, which is a room, admitting in the hospital. And eventually, while admitting also, you have to take a pharmacy like medicines, and eventually you have to go out from the hospital, right? Which means that you are entering into the hospital or you are exiting into the hospital. In between, you have a n number of things that you need to be handled. Okay. So this system, whatever in this chain or whatever in this route, whatever is going to come into picture, that we are going to track in the system to automate some kind of hospital manual activities. Let's see, let's do this is the actual system they are running right now, or actual process they are running right now. As a BA, how I'm going to split this functionality into a different sub modules. Let's see how to do that. First thing, are we going to track any security information right now? This is a, remember, any kind of big project also, it will start with small components. Okay, right? So what we will do, we will start with a simple application, then based on our real-time experience, we will enhance that application. Right now I'm not going to consider the security. Okay, second thing, a registration. Okay, at the registration stage, what are the components are available? There is a receptionist, right? And this receptionist is going to be a, who is operating the system. Okay, this lady or this person is going to take the data from the respective person, or like maybe patient or patient relatives who are there. They will fill the information and they will generate the ID. So who is going to operate the system? He is the receptionist. What he is going to fill the details? That is nothing but patient details, right? And eventually you'll get the ID. That is a different story. Okay, then this guy is going to get the doctor details. So which means that there must be a doctor details is required, right? We will categorize what needs to be available in the patient details. We will categorize what needs to be available in the doctor details. For example, patient details. First thing, what is the name? What is the phone number? What is the email ID? What is the age? What is the gender, right? And symptoms, this person doesn't require to maintain. Symptoms will be handled by the doctor, right? Up to here, this guy will take in care the what are the details. And do you have any kind of insurance things? Do you have any ID? So do you have any unique ID number, something like Aadhaar number? All details will come into picture in the patient details. I'll come back here again when we are discussing about the fields. Right now, keep it aside, only patient details. Coming to doctor details. What is the doctor name? What is the mobile number? What is his qualification? What is his specialty? The most important thing, how much is going to charge for the consultancy? How much is going to charge for the surgery, right? So that details you can track it here, right? Now, coming to pharmacy details. In the pharmacy also, if you observe something called, they are going to operate the system. Okay, so here also we need to handle one thing, pharmacy details, in the sense what is the prescription medicine that you are going to provide, and as well as who is operating in the pharmacy, sorry, who is operating system in the pharmacy. Operator, you can say pharmacy agents or pharmacy attendants, you can call it whatever details is there. Now coming to, now you gone through the doctor, a doctor has provided some kind of prescription. Let's say prescription is something called, it's a document. Remember this, prescription is a document. Okay, and based on that document, so this guy will give you the medicine, and in the future also if you want you can use it the same. Okay, and another direction, testing, nothing but reports. You can call it as a test reports or reports, right? Test reports, or you can say whatever it is there. And this test report is required a functionality called adding attachments, because today, if you see in the KIMS, I observed in the KIMS actually, whenever you come out from the doctor cabin, they will take the prescription as a scanned copy and they will upload into the system. Why? What is the purpose of that one? Because let's say there is a patient came to hospital. Let's take a example of Shankar Dada MBBS. Okay, so the dean, he is giving a prescription, or dean or whatever the person is giving a prescription for that guy. I don't know what his name. He will dead for he will die for the cancer. Though they are using the proper medication, the patient got dead, right? If you remember that Shankar Dada MBBS. At the end of the movie, that patient mother is going to complaint on against the hospital management dean, if you remember that. Okay, so that kind of situation will happen n number of things in the hospital management, right? Those things has to be handled. What kind of prescriptions that specific doctor has given, and after some time, okay, whether that is a valid one or whether that is a invalid one, that will, and that will impact on the doctor performance. Okay, so everything should be documented and everything should be stored in the system. So this prescription, I'm going to put it in the test reports, or test reports itself, or let's say report documents. For this one, whatever the prescription, whatever the lab reports, everything I can track it here itself. That will come as a design, but I'll just keep it same. Reports are test reports. Okay, so once we gone through the test reports, doctor will identify what is the issue. He will decide whether you have to take the medicine and go out from the hospital, or whether you have to admit into the hospital. Whenever you admit into the hospital, which means that there is a room allotment is required. Okay, so let's say you can call it as a room, and room also, it will have a lot of things. If it is a ICU, you need a bed. Instead of calling it as a room, I would say bed. Okay, based on the type of bed, you are going to be charged for charge the amount. If it is a ICU, they'll charge for per day, it will be like a 30,000 rupees. If it is a special bed, they'll going to charge 10,000 per day. If it is a normal bed, if they'll charge for 5,000 rupees. Depends on the bed, the amount will be like increased and decreased. Remember this one. Okay, so this also will be taken care. Other thing, for every patient or for every a room of the patient, so there will be a couple of nurse would be there. Okay, so you can call it as a nurse, or for simplifying this one, medical staff. This people will come into picture for many type of people. For example, if you go to hospital, if you go to, let's say some of the situation, you need some assistance to go from one room to another room for the technician or for the testings. So if that patient is unable to like get down from the dev, there is some assistance is required. So that people also you can track in the system. Okay, and you can say nurse, let's say head nurse or small things are there. Third thing, the most important thing, payment details. Okay, so before this we have already covered the test reports, right? Payment details, this is the very much important thing for the hospitals nowadays. Without this one, you cannot survive in the hospital, right? So for the initial payment, you have to do you have to deposit some amount, and when you are getting discharged, you need to pay this one. When we say payment details, there are two things. One is cash and another one is insurance. Okay. So these are the high level things what we have seen, but there would be a n number of things inside the hospital which we don't know. For now, we will consider only these things. We will try to build one application, right? Are you guys following? Any confusion so far? Yes means do you have a confusion, or do you are you following?
No, sir. Sir, regarding this one, the payment details, they will keep the reminders also, no, sir? Regarding the this one payment, they will
Yeah,
send
so
messages,
that that is
daily
a
message.
different enhancement actually. Like, see, now you got the requirement. Are they going to
Okay.
send the are they going to send the notification? How that notifications? Yeah, good point. Let me put it. Notifications.
And
What kind
regarding
of
the
note? Mhm.
and regarding the bed details also, they will base it upon the charge according to the room, sir. On it's a double room or a duplex room like that.
That's a, you can like you can document what, that's what I am giving a way. So
Okay.
this is how you will take the requirement to achieve that requirement. What can be done? We will talk about that. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Notification. When the notification will comes, there might be a different channels to get the notification. For example, we take one patient to heart surgery. Okay, so once the heart surgery has done and patient is fine, but doctor has suggested every month it required a checkup for 6 months. Okay, you might be busy with something else, and we need to be notified the patient that in so and so date you have the appointment, and we are going to book the appointment for you, so please be available for that. It would be a SMS, it would be a WhatsApp message, it would be a email, or it would be a phone call based on the customer preference, right? So that's kind of notification also you can perform. In this one, let's take a phone call or email which we have in our hand. SMS, WhatsApp message, that's a different story. Don't go into that much level. Okay, right. So here, what are the things for our training purpose? I'll take only couple of things, and I would, based on my explanation, you guys have to take another level of your application. Okay, come up with the doubts. I'll give you suggestions for that. Let's see what are the things which we can accommodate right now. So we'll see. So what we have done, we have done the analysis and we have gathered this information from the hospital. Now let's design these things into a CRM system. Now based on this one, what I would suggest, I would go for a different entities, categorizing of the entity. What we have learned, we have existing entities, which is business or whatever it is there, and we have concept called custom, which is a new entity. Okay, now in this analysis, what are we going to track in the system? Let's document. First thing would be a receptionist. When you say receptionist, he is the person who is going to operate the system. Okay, he is going to create the record and he is going to provide the information printing in this one. Let's say I want to see the bill amount. Okay, so there are two things. One is the person who will take in care only registering and providing the printouts. Let's say I want to get the test reports printing, and can you please provide details. There is a another way who will handle the money as well. Okay, depends. So what I would suggest, instead of calling this one, what I will say, non-medical staff in the hospital. Okay, this non-medical staff will be like a generic word for different people. For example, in the receptionist, these people is going to handle the system. In the pharmacy, there is that. In the pharmacy also, they are going to operate the system. And in the lab technicians also, they will operate the system, right? So to generalize that one, I am going to take a generic name to create an entity. Okay, so this is the non-medical staff. So this purpose can be utilized for multiple persons. Now in this selection, we have an existing entity called system user. Remember, whenever you want to create, give a access to any user, or if you want to work with user credentials, for example, I have created a user like soft touch or something like this. Like these users, if you want to create a multiple, you need to create a record for this system user entity. And this is the existing entity. Okay. Coming to next thing, patient details, patient entity. When I say patient, in in the outside of the world, patient is something called who is facing a issue, and he's not well kind of thing. But when it comes to a hospital management point of view, patient is a customer, right? So you are facing you need something from the hospital, which means that either it would be a consultancy or medication or something like a treatment, whatever it is there. Eventually you are getting a services from the hospital and you are paying for that one, right? So that's why this guy is a customer for that one. In CRM terminology, customer is nothing but the contact entity. That is nothing but existing entity I'm going to use. What is that contact entity? If I go here, you see there is a contact entity. We will talk about why only you are selecting contact when we are going to discuss about at the end. There is a topic called these things. We will talk about the terminology of contact. What is the purpose of that one? Right now I am going to use that entity as a patient. I am going to rename this entity. I am going to rename this entity as a non-medical staff. Okay, we'll see that. Coming to doctor. Doctor, wait. Doctor is not related to CRM, customer relationship management concept. That's why we will go with the new entity creation, right? And coming to test reports, you see here reports, test reports, prescriptions, everything can be tracked in one entity. I will show you how to that one. So for that one, what I will show, report documents, which is a new entity. Right now we didn't discuss about fields, all these things. We are just creating a tables to design the database. Okay, now what are the things? You can create a, let's say, bed or a room, whatever the thing that you would like to design. Try to understand how I'm preparing this concept. Similar way, you can just go with the next level of these things. Bed details. So bed, say it's like what type of bed is there. Like bed also you can create a new entity, and followed by medical staff. So this is also a new entity, right? And coming to payment details. Payment details, what I will do, I'll simplify this functionality called discharge amount. Okay, so we are not going to deep into the payment details. We'll just simply highlight discharge amount. I will come to this point later when we are discussing about the data types. Okay, right now keep it aside. Coming to notification, let's use the phone call entity or email entity, whatever it is there. So for this one, it is a existing entity. Okay, right. So these are the things that I initial start of our application. It's not like we are building entire thing at one shot. We are going to start with the small things, and we are going to enhance that functionality. Okay, right. Now as part of this training, what I will do, I'll work on 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 entities, because to create, update, delete and show in front of you within 1 hour, it will take n number of classes. That's why for the simplification, I will use only these 4 entities. I would suggest go with your creation, because you have a lot of time to practice. I will give you the idea, and if you come up with the doubts also, I'll give you the design as well. Try to create this one. Okay, whenever I am just updating this one and you have the real-time experience, try to see how to accommodate this one in the design. Okay, mainly I'll play with these 4 entities. It will be more than enough. Sometimes I might be stick with only report document and patient entity. Okay, because a concept explanation purpose only we are considering this one. And whatever we have discussed, this is your project. Remember this one. And whatever the flow diagram which you have seen, this is your project flow diagram. That's it. So you don't need to worry about, okay, what is the project, actually. For confirmation purpose, I worked on one of the hospital management application for Dubai. You know, Emirates, there is a hospital is there in the Dubai, so they have used this application. Okay, don't worry about. So think about how CRM application is used by the end customer. That is the thing. And you never know, there is a one more thing. CRM has been used for one of the family member. That guy is a Dubai Sheikh, and he want to track his family members, how they are, like where they are, what they are doing, and something like that. For that also, we have built an application in the CRM. Let's say grandparent, or let's say let's say grandfather, and for that one, this guy have a four fathers and sorry, four sons and two uh, daughters. For them they have children, for them they have the children's, something like that. And what they are doing, as a business, what they are doing a profession, everything he want to track. That guy has asked us to build an application, and we have built. Okay, CRM can be fit for any kind of data management. You can just, you have to understand how to play with the application to fit that kind of requirement. Okay, So that's a functionality, like explanation. And what we will do, so I would suggest we know how to create an entity, right? So task for you guys: create all the above entities and create one model driven app with the name hospital management. Okay, this is the task for you for Sunday. Just practice this one and come with the doubts. You might get immediate right now. What is this model driven app? Okay, from Monday onwards, we will start with creating a model driven app and segregating these entities and creating as a demo. Okay, are you guys following? Right. So that's it for today. And let me know any doubts for today's class. Do you have? Shall I take it as no doubts? I'm going to stop the recording.